Now we have to. It's gonna be and run around. You don't feel like running and running. And you get them. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to your presentation. I've heard good things. So. I love it. You guys too.
I think gonna grab some food.
I'm good to eat.
Oh, really?
But thank you.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate that.
Good. Are you sure? Okay. You're welcome.
Let's see.
I do apologize. There is meat on the pasta today. It wasn't my regular cook, so we did.
Oh, okay.
We do have the green beans, the Caesar salad.
Okay, perfect.
So sorry.
Oh, no worries.
The damage was already done. It was.
Oh, okay. No worries. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
The only place I'd rather be though.
Well, I appreciate it.
No, yeah, you can offer that and you're like.
I'm in the same category.
Let me see some money. Which I may not, you know, because with okay, so okay. I'm dressed like you today, man. I wanna, you know, exactly. I'm so good. I used to play. Okay. Yeah, I think it's visible still. Yeah. Trish, Trish, you can come and sit over here. You can sit over here.
You don't get this guy. Hey, if I'm up here, you gotta come here.
Like to put me on the house.
Right.
I got about 80%. They actually. Watch a video and just say helpful. Monica, the on the track, she is very strict. You're paying for things and announcements, you know, after the raise of this for we all got to pick up that. So I'm not very exactly what these announcements. It's not gotta get me. They may be the I got members. Other than Vice President. So the less I see it, like, far, the bigger. Remember. Very I think.
Yeah.
You got it.
So you did that.
I have less to say. We have.
The mayor's team too.
Yes. It's like, when we did this, we were actually both driving around. His road. It's like 60 minutes.
Hello, friends. Nice to see everybody. Well, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brian Moho has the invocation.
Back, everyone can have a seat.
Yeah, it's going to be a lengthy one. Well, it's a special day. It's our last meeting here at this location. So I thought I'd prepared just a few things that have sort of happened and we've accomplished while we've been here for, I asked Carrie, and we're just trying to figure out when we moved over here. A good rough estimate is 2005. So many of us in here, you know, I've been a member 19 years, so it's 18 years. So this is kind of what all I've known for Rotary, and many of you that were inducted here, this is the only location that you've known. So that's a lot of meetings. You know, we had the COVID year, so we didn't meet here a lot, and we have 5, 6, 7 our meetings a year. We don't meet here for breaks and so forth, but that's somewhere around 750 meetings. And if you would include the ding for the nice one. He was a little early on that, but that's okay. That's a personal problem. He was a little overly excited here. So well, 1,500 of those to start the meeting and then to conclude the meeting, or with meals, that's well over 2,000, you know, probably over 1,000 guests that we've had here in this room. Hundreds of visiting Rotarians, 8 or 10 inbound and outbound students. It's been a while since we've done that, but we had a number of years there, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. We had an inbound and we had some outbounds. Interact at EHS started or was really revived, and now it's thriving, of course. And we've provided them with just absolutely boot stomping Thanksgiving baskets. So they're the leading group to win that award every year at EHS. We've listened to certainly well over 100 amazing students of the month. And then also, if you include the SIUE students that come in and speak occasionally. We built a habitat house. That was pretty early on after we moved here to the room. That was a big project. We attempted the resurrection of the original playground. And then we realized that's way over our head, and structurally, it just wasn't going to be able to be revived. So we sort of gathered and said, hey, let's build another. And we got it done, raised a lot of money, put a lot of physical labor into that. We supported many city projects, the pickleball court project, splash pad, Garbs Memorial that's on the city park, Glick Park Shelter, Nickel Plate Station, Watershed Nature Center, just to name a few. Those are big ones. We financially assisted the YMCA multiple times. We funded and assisted with building a portion of the gardens at SIUE, and Ann Tazowski says that's a pergola. I think that's a floor too, but it's like a shadow box thing. That was a fun project. That was. We helped fund with the Anderson Hospital ICU unit expansion many years ago. We jump-started the Edwardsville CEO. We started a coat drive, gloves and socks many years ago. We packed and paid for thousands of meals, of course, with a nice foundation, Meals for Nicaragua. We funded and built beds for kids who have been sleeping on the floor, sleep in heavenly peace. We funded and assisted with feeding the homeless in St. Louis, Tim Har. We helped opera voices be heard in Edwardsville. We organized and helped direct the Halloween parade. Every year we are doing that prior to coming here, and the tradition's going to continue. By the way, where's Mark? Mark here? What day is that, Mark? All right. Hey, we started a Criterium that's grown a bit. We've sold tons and tons of citrus. We've golfed and raised a lot of money and fun. We sold lemonade and spread goodwill at the Route 66 festival. Those were some fun years. We distributed $175,000 in scholarships. How about a round of applause for that? All told, 120 separate destinations for our funding efforts, for a total of $897,000. Another round of applause. We lost over 30 long-term Rotarians. Many of you know some really great people that are no longer with us that were at this club for a long time. It's really special people. On a positive note, we had, I don't know the count, we certainly had over 150 inductions easily. Some years were 20, some years were leaner than that. But if you sort of add them all up, that's a great thing. The fellowship hours can't be counted. The support for each other can't be measured. Laughter was abundant and will continue to be. And now we relocate to make new members. And if you will pray with me, if you would do so, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this house of worship that we've been in all these years. We know to you, it's just a structure. That's not what makes worship. And we move on to a new structure now for our Rotary endeavors. And please continue to guide us as members and our board in ways that are most impactful to the local community, the international projects we do, and the people that we support. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Brian. That was really awesome. We got to guests. We have a visiting Rotarian. He's actually my brother-in-law, visiting from Zambia. His name is Godfrey Mwanza. Mr. Mwanza, please stand up and introduce yourself. What club are you coming from? Thank you. So the club comes up quite often because Bob Betos talks about them. Eric DeBeer talks about them. We collaborate on a lot of things with this club in Lusaka, Zambia. Any other guests? Okay, so we'll go to announcements real quickly. My first one is we have a district conference on October 28th in Springfield. So if anybody wants to go, especially the newer Rotarians, you must go to this one. I'm going up there. We can carpool and have a good time together. Kerry, you want to make an announcement? This is our previous Rotary International president, actually, last year. She went to Zambia, and this is the president this year. He also went to Zambia. So every RI president ends up in Zambia for some reason. And they don't want to come here.
Okay, this is our last meeting. So next week we meet at the LeClaire Room. The address is 600 Troy Road, Edwardsville, the LeClaire Room, Lewis and Clark Community College. If you show up next week, there'll be a $25 fine. If you show up here, it just keeps going up.
Thank you, Kerry. Laura, you have an announcement. Awesome. Thank you, Laura. Any more announcements? Okay, today is really special. We have John McDowell is going to do some induction for two of our newest members who will be the last ones in this building. Yeah.
So if our new inductees can step up to the front, please. I think, Laura, are you filling in for Mark? Yes, Mark is helping with another CEO tournament today, so he's unable to be here. Go ahead and come up here, Laura. Jen, how do you pronounce your last name? Coble. Just want to get it right. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership in our club, Chris Beard, and Jen Coble, both proposed by Mark Vogel, sorry. It's funny because he told me once that he hates it when people call him vaguely. And so in my head now, I call him that. I don't mean it personally, so you can go ahead and tell him. Both proposed by Mark Vogel. This proposal has been reviewed in accordance with our club constitution and bylaws. Chris and Jen, we now proceed to admit you to the membership of the Rotary Club of Edwardsville and to the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. It has already been explained to you that the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self, and the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this idea into our communities. You are to share in this effort. You have been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, interested in the ideals of Rotary, and willing to do your share in the translating of these ideas into action. You have agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. Chris and Jen, you are now part of Rotary, but it will be through your own actions that you become Rotarians. The community will know you and judge Rotary through your embodiment of it in character and service, and you are now new members because we believe our principles and organization to be safe in your keeping for years to come. The Rotary Club of Edwardsville is known for outstanding work in the community, as Brian just went over, and has been involved in giving to local and international projects for the last 98 years. Rotary, as an international organization, is made up of business and professional people with Rotary clubs in over 200 countries. When one joins Rotary, he or she becomes part of a worldwide partnership. You can travel throughout most of the world, including Zambia, and you will find a Rotary club within easy distance. Rotarians will welcome you warmly, even though the language may be different, the food unusual, and the location far from home. Together, we are working to enrich youth, ensure health, develop communities, and promote peace. And with that, let's hear from our newest Rotarian. First off, we'll go with Chris Beard. You can come up here and give a little information about yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. I work at Heartland Bank just down the road. I actually grew up in Central Illinois. Through my time in high school, I was a Key Club member and did a lot of stuff with that. So I've always been drawn to the service that we provide. Never was able to be a part of anything with Rotary, but it's a great group. I can see that from everybody that I've talked to. I really look forward to doing everything that I can to make myself be the best member for the community, and obviously putting service above myself, which then leads to all these great relationships that we have with amongst each other and amongst the community. Thank you.
Next up, Jen, if you could come up, please.
Okay, I've got short people problems. I'm sorry. My name is Jen Coble. I am originally from Alton, Fosterburg area. My husband is from Wood River. We have moved around the world for the last 23 years because he was active duty military. And when he retired, we decided it's time to go home and take care of our parents, which we did. And our daughters tagged along with us. Bailey's 21, Gretchen is 9 at Casson. So, 12-year gap there. Do the math. It's okay. We know. While my husband was active duty and we moved all over the world, I did all kinds of volunteering because we were never in one place long enough to join and be a part of a group like this. So I was always the Navy ombudsman. And if you know what an ombudsman is, you know that we volunteer and we're like the yellow pages for everything. So that's what I did, but I volunteered with Navy balls and CB balls and all the kinds of things, and just put myself out there that, everybody knew where to go get their information. So that was just me. I appreciate the induction and membership into the group because I love to serve people. It's just the type of personality that I have, and what I do is help people. So I'm hoping I can make a difference here as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna do the, yeah. I always mess up on this one, but forgive me. Yeah. Sorry, Trish, we'll get it. This is it's coming. Okay, the NPF. Okay, perfect.
And I think just what arrows.
Yeah. What the heck is going on? It's the computer's fault. I believe me. You wanna try this? Okay, so we go here. Stop sharing. This one. Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you for that. It just took me 2 minutes. Anyway, so our program this week is netting. Please, Ned, go ahead. Sorry, but
There you go. Save your applause. You don't, that's not for me. It's for these guys. In case you don't know me, I'm Nate Tingley. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for the city of Edwardsville, and I have the distinct pleasure of getting to introduce the Nature Preserve Foundation. You all probably know them better as the Watershed. And for the last 30 years, Jeff will give us the exact details on that. I'm not exact on the dates. That's been their home. And he's going to talk a little bit about some of the changes that have been coming forward here for the last year or so. But I've been able in the last 3.5 years in my position to create some really great relationships with the board members there. They invited me with open arms to come to their meetings, and I get to attend those regularly. And we have great communication. But I get to introduce Jeff Bash, the president of the Nature Preserve Foundation, and Trish Oberweis, the vice president of the Nature Preserve Foundation. And go ahead, we'll give it away.
All right. These keys. All right. So my name is Jeff Bash. I am the president of the Nature Preserve Foundation. I'm from Edwardsville for about the last 20 years. I helped found Louis Brisbois, which has 56 employees now in Edwardsville. We've been here for about 11 years and absolutely love it. And this is Trish Oberweis. She's a professor at SIUE. You introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Trish Oberweis. I am a professor of criminal justice at SIUE for about 22 years. And I have been here on numerous occasions before, but always celebrating the things that you were doing for SIUE students. I've had a couple students be honored by this group before. have benefited from so many of the other projects that you've done, not the least of which was to support Access Nature, our biggest, sort of most recent big project. So a huge thank you for that. And today we're here to talk to you about some of the other awesome things going on at the watershed and the Nature Preserve Foundation more generally.
Yeah. I did want to start out by saying I have a very fond, because I have a special place in my heart. My dad is in his mid-80s, but he's been a Rotarian for years and years and years. And I remember him pulling me out of school to come to lunches back when I was a young whippersnapper. So thank you for always doing such great for the community and society. So the Nature Preserve Foundation, we help run the watershed, and now in conjunction with the city, are helping a broader scope, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But we're a 14 person board. We're made up of SIUE professors, we have lawyers, we have accountants, we have bankers, and we have, most importantly, we have environmentalists and people that love nature. So we all kind of share a common goal, which is to just support nature in the city and help expand that throughout the region. Let's see, has everybody been to the watershed?
Yes.
Okay, that's great, because it is the best place on earth. So it was founded in 1990 by John and Jay Kendall, and it was the old sewage lagoon, which is incredible to me, as someone that moved here from Peoria, Illinois, that first time I went out to the watershed, I could not believe that this used to be the sewage lagoon. And so there's 40 acres, we've got wetlands, grasslands, and our marshland, and it is evolving. It takes a lot of work, but it is just a respite within the city. And it's so great to see people out there. We have 3 common goals, which are to reconnect people with nature, protect ecology, and to promote an active lifestyle. One of our exciting things that we've done recently is through our partnership with the city. So before, we were literally running the Watershed Nature Center. So I'm changing air filters, like I'm unclogging toilets, all of that, which meant that our board members were doing a lot of maintenance and things. So through Nate, we've had just an absolutely incredible, and Art, thank you so much, incredible relationship with the city. So late last year, we partnered with them, where they're taking over the maintenance of the Nature Center, and then helping out, obviously they own the watershed, so helping out with the maintenance there. And it's been great. Within the first couple of weeks, they redid the deck, which is beautiful and literally the best place to watch a sunset in Edwardsville. So highly encourage you to head out there and check that out. And then we just redid the surface of the trails. So we added real thin chat. And part of that is to make it much more wheelchair accessible. We'll get to this in a minute, but we've brought back field trips now with District 7, which has been great. And so I had the opportunity to go out with some third graders, and they had a little girl in a wheelchair, and she's out there being wheeled on a trail surface, and it like literally brought me to tears. Like, it was so great that she now has access to be out there. So thank you to the city for all you guys have been doing. Trish can tell you a little bit more about what we do.
We work to make nature inviting. That's the simplest thing that I can say. And what's happened when we were relieved of some of the responsibilities of managing the cleaning of the building, or just some of this sort of day-to-day regular, this is a physical structure that needs attention. When we were relieved of some of that responsibility, thanks to our new arrangement with the city, we've been able to turn our attention to our mission of making nature inviting. And to that end, I mentioned I'm an educator. To me, this is how we make nature inviting, is we educate people about why nature is inviting. And our focus this past year has been on working with groups of volunteers, working with the school district, working with SIUE to build partnerships that can help use education, use the resources that we have to make nature inviting. During the pandemic, when everything shut down, we had a program, Nature's Not Canceled. And to me, that really just sort of epitomized who we are and what we do. Nature isn't canceled. It can't be canceled. Nature is why we feel better when we take that short 15-minute walk around the lake. The reservoir, well, we have a nicer name for it. I'm not one of the environmental people. I'm an educator. We love being out with the trees. We love seeing the herons. We love watching the muskrats. Some of our board members can tell you which ones are muskrats and which ones are beavers. I just see little heads and it makes my heart swell. We want you to come out. We love to be out. Our mission is to make that invitation stick so people come out. To that end,
so we do a lot around, it used to just be the watershed. Now it's a lot out in the actual community. So it's now at Richards Woods and Baum Woods and Derda. We have an amazing, used to be our employee. Now he's with the city. His name is Tom Doyle, and he is literally an expert in removing invasives and just helping these natural green spaces to thrive. So Tom holds restoration days the second Saturday of every month. We generally have about 10 to 40 volunteers that come out, and school groups and scouting groups, but they're pulling weeds, and he's licensed to do controlled burns. And so you will see Tom, if you ever walk out at the watershed, you will see him in the woods, and he's just doing his thing, and it's incredible. It's one guy, but because we have this larger vision now with the city, Tom is now training other city employees on how to do this. So we're hoping to expand and have many Toms throughout the town, which is fantastic.
one thing.
Yes.
I just want to say one of the things about restoration days that is sort of the long-term vision that we're just reaching now at the watershed. You know about native invasive species. They get planted. They do what plants do. They grow seeds. The birds eat the seeds. They carry them. The seeds blow. And now there are new invasive plants elsewhere. What Tom has done for 8-10 years, some extended period of time, is to get out there seed by seed, plant by plant, and pull that stuff out. And what we have as a result of all these years of his effort is a natural ecology at the watershed. There's so many benefits to the natural ecology, but not the least of them is that this is what's supposed to be here. And so it maintains itself. It doesn't need as much day-to-day care. Weeds don't grow because they're either not weeds, they're plants that were supposed to be growing here, or the plants themselves maintain an ecology that promotes its own well-being at the expense of those invasive plants. So after a decade or so of work, maybe not quite that long, but kind of in that neighborhood, Tom has created a natural balance where it had not been.
Thank you. One of the things that we love the most is educating our youth and the future generations. So we have the Discovery Days. They are the last Saturday of every month. If you guys have kids, grandkids, neighbor kids, encourage them to come. They're free and they are absolutely incredible. We had, well over 200 kids last year go through this, and they're learning about bugs and owls and critters at nights and leaves and trees. And I mean, it's fascinating, and we have the best educator ever. We'll talk a little bit, but we share her with District 7, and she came to us through SIUE. So it's just this awesome symbiotic relationship where we can get kids into nature. So highly encourage you to bring out your kids for that. Trish, talk a little bit more about our relationship with District 7.
So I'm the parent of 2 District 7 graduates now in college, thank God. They're doing fine, but they missed this awesome opportunity that current District 7 kids have now. We've partnered up with the district to share Vanessa, who's our education coordinator. She is an environmental educator by training from SIUE. And she comes to the watershed with a passion for teaching a particular age group. She really loves like K-5 education. She does more than that, but that's really where her heart is. She creates crafts, she creates activities, and importantly, she takes classroom after classroom after classroom of District 7 kids out to the watershed where they do something memorable that will stick with them. They see nature, they see wildlife, they see plants, they come home with that experience. And our goal is eventually to build up our shared work with District 7 to get every District 7 student out to the watershed to do this thing where they learn with their hands and their feet and their eyes and their noses and their ears instead of just with their fingertips or their pencils.
So last year alone, we had 800 District 7 students go through a field trip, which the field trips had not occurred for a while because of COVID. So it was fantastic getting them out there. So we had every 1st and 4th grader last year went through. This year, it's every 1st and 3rd grade. What's great is because we share Vanessa with the district, we pay for her for a full-time day on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, she is reaching out to parochial schools and homeschool groups to get their kids out for field trips. So, I mean, this is with your guys' support, I mean, this is a very, very broad reaching thing that we're doing. And I don't know if you guys recognize someone's son is in that picture up there. Little Schaefer. We love Schaefer. That's Schaefer with my son, Jack, who's 7. This is right up your alley, Trish.
Another thing that we do at the watershed is we work with the STEM Center at SIUE, where young science educators are learning chemistry, but especially biology and native ecology and environmental science. So when they're coming through that STEM program, we have a board member who's closely connected with that SIUE STEM Center. She secures grants, and then she gives she awards grants to the Nature Preserve Foundation so that we can give internship experience, teaching experience, all sorts of different resume building opportunities to STEM students from SIUE. In addition to that, we also work with that STEM Center to supply research opportunities for those students. So the environmental science, biology students will come and they'll count fish in the pond. They'll count, I mean, I don't know all the different things that they count, but they monitor all sorts of different aspects of natural ecology at the watershed. And this helps them to earn their master's degrees. It helps them with their senior capstone projects while they're finishing their bachelor's programs. And probably most importantly, it gives them real life job experience through internship opportunities. And Vanessa, our current education coordinator, is an awesome example of this. She came through exactly those steps. And she is now, she was briefly working as our education coordinator as her main position. And now we share her with District 7, where she is directly involved in education, directly involved in experiential learning with students coming through the watershed. She designs the curriculum. She aligns it with the state standard curricula for whichever level of kids she's working with. And all of this is just putting her step after step on a path to achieve her own career goals. Okay. Another thing that we often do is support scout projects. Scouts will come out and they'll have something that they want to do. The most recent one that we were sort of working with a scout troop about was they were building bluebird boxes, which in order to have a bluebird population, the boxes have to be set up at a certain height in certain intervals, spaced a certain way. And they came out and they were working on educating visitors to the watershed and selling these bird houses, bluebird houses that they had made, along with instructions about how to put it up, where to put it up. And so again, that sort of mutual benefit between the scout troops who have goals and projects that they want to complete, and the opportunity to do that through reaching a nature-loving population that comes to the watershed on a regular basis. It works very well for both of us. They've also done past projects like when you take your lap around, toward the end, there's the meditation bridge. They put bee boxes during all of the recent discussions about pollinator problems. They were working to assist with pollinator problems by giving bees a place. Snake signs, that speaks for itself. We're always working from the smallest scouts all the way up to the final Eagle Scout projects. We work with scouts of all ages.
The pictures you see are of our meditation bridge, and it was an Eagle Scout project, and he raised over $10,000 on his own, and they got his buddies out there to come and build this, and it was great. And then the back of you can see the guy in the black shirt, but that's actually Tom. So Tom was out there helping them build this to make sure we were protecting nature and it'd be solid. So it's really cool. And now I'm starting to see family photos pop up on social media of them taking pictures on our meditation bridge. So fundraising, always part of a non-for-profit, and I'm super excited about what we're doing. We have two main fundraisers a year. The one coming up soon is Wine and Whiskey for the Watershed, which has been around for a few years now. That's on November 2nd at the Ink House. And last year we sold out with over 300 people. It was great. We raised a lot of money. We anticipate hopefully raising a lot of money this year. I've got some pretty lofty goals for fundraising of $60,000. So and then our other event is Earth Day, and that'll be on April 20th, 2024. This last year was great. We had a 5K. We had a massive discovery day for children. We had over 300 people out despite some pretty wicked weather, DJ. It was just a lot of fun. So we raised around 10,000 from that. And last year at Wine and Whiskey, we raised about 50,000. We have our paver in front of the Nature Center that we're selling pavers for, and they're only $100. And it is literally, I think, probably the best deal in Edwardsville, because you can get your name, your family. I like to give them out as gifts, for weddings and stuff like that. So you can get your name out there. It's just a great opportunity. And then of course, donations. If anyone is interested in Wine and Whiskey, we do have some flyers. There's a QR code, but we would really love to see everybody else out there.
We know you already had it on your calendar, but this is just a reminder in case. I'll bring them around so you have the QR code. We would love to see you there.
Yeah. Final slide is that we are loved by the community. We have a massive social media following. We have over 6,800 followers on Facebook, which I think just goes to show you how wonderful this town is and how much people just love their green space. And we've got some great comments. Yeah, the Watershed Nature Center is my favorite place. When it snows, see lots of wildlife. One of the things I did not talk about, and I probably should about us, never mind. But we are helping out the city with their green space initiatives. Part of the money that we're raising is to save up for that, because they're acquiring new green space, and then we want to help them make it more accessible to everybody. And so we're working with Heartland's Conservancy on that. So you'll see some great things in Edwardsville soon.
Yes, you might get some questions.
Yes, questions. Sorry, we are close.
How do they count fish?
That's a great question. But it's no fishing is allowed, but we are told that our fishing environment out there is amazing. The fish are super healthy. But they are out there in their rowboats, and I think they,
The idea that.
yeah, they shock them. So it probably is a great place to fish, but don't. But they're very healthy. Yes.
Follow in your father's footsteps and become a Rotarian.
As I was sitting here, I was like, I probably need to do this. This is great. You guys really do seem to have a great group.
See you next week.
Okay.
So any more questions before we move on to the next thing? Okay.
Thank you all for your time. We really appreciate it.
So this is for you guys. On behalf of the
Thank you very much. That's so nice.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, 50-50. How big is the pot, Ever? I think we're over 1,000. Over 1,100. Okay.
Lucky one.
Yeah, I'm in the draw, man. I don't know. Okay, the last four 7637. You know, so close. 7637. Continue. Frank? You're an honest man, honest man.
This might be Franco.
Okay. Thank you for doing that. So please rise for the, now before we do that, next week's program will be Josiah Johnson, and invocation is Mark Shashek. Greeters are John McDowell and Jennifer Warren. 50-50 is Christy Garish. So please join me in the last four-way test in this building. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend.